We resume the story right where we left off, at Sultansk. I decide to get Sultan his briefcase, and en route there I come across a factory. A poltergeist attacks me, so I decide to deal with him using the high ground. He takes a few, or rather more than a few shots, and he's done. As I'm leaving the area, a wild bloodsucker appears. Albeit with casualties, the bloodsucker is dealt with. In the docks, I do some parkouring and climb over a narrow fence to reach his stash. The docks are littered with anomalies, but they help deal with the intruders. I finally get on the ship. And into the bunker that seems to contain the briefcase. It's right there on the table. As I'm leaving, someone seems to be under the impression I can be intimidated. So I defend myself. I decide to investigate the rest of the ship. But there seems to be nothing interesting there. So I just hop off, not wanting to go through the anomaly field again. The return journey seems to be quite uneventful. And I'll never stop being amazed by how fast the weather changes in Sultan. I return Sultan his briefcase and decide to return to the swamps. En route there I come across a stage that requires some parkouring to get. Piece of cake.
Okay, so that's how you get your... Okay.
Later I spot an artifact on my scanner, and it constitutes a detour. Not wanting to return to the church, I decide to start with a different spot. The moment I turn off the emitter, phantoms start attacking me. And later disappear the moment I touch them. The second spot seems a bit tougher. There are zombies and a controller. I try to stay out of its line of sight, but he still manages to side attack me. So I retreat, take side block and head back in. In the end, even a conductor can't survive a mag of buckshot to the face. Later I climb the tower to disable the second C emitter. In the end, I return to the church and try to approach this problem from a different angle. Since sometimes you need some creative jump, I decide to bring a box from a tower nearby. I spent the next 15 minutes pushing it to the church's entrance. Can't get it on one side, luckily the other side has a ramp. Finally, it's in. But, unfortunately, I'm still not high enough. I try pushing it to the other edge. And finally, I find the intended path. Later, I disable the emitter in the bell tower, contemplating my previous game choices. And pick an artifact on my scanner in a village that is flooded with flashbangs. It turns out to be another hypercube. Wonder what I'd need two for. Finally, I reach the shack. And I'm immediately attacked by a bloodsucker. Nothing a full mag of buckshot won't kill. Which can't be said about my next enemy. Because I die before even being able to react to it. But you know what they say, if you can't kill it, try outrunning it. Unfortunately, my stay in the next check is cut short by animation, so I have to run for the closest bunker. As I'm jumping in, I hear Faust. He seems to be rambling, but also communicating with someone via an unknown device. He then ends conversation by dropping the scanner and hitting me with some sort of radiation. But when I regain my senses, it seems that everything is back to normal and my scanner is returned to me. I decide to stay at clear sky for a bit longer. And turn the last psi emitter off.
Something more to people who played the first game.
Good thing I've stayed here. There is a stash with an armor that's far better than mine. Later, I decide to leave the area and come across a field full of bubbles, with an artifact appearing on my scanner. I obviously need to get it. Further on, another artifact pops up. But this one is guarded by a pseudo-giant. So I decide to employ the high ground technique again. And then get the hell out of dodge. As I'm leaving the swamp, I am contacted by Strider, who asks me to come to a nearby station. Turns out he and SIRCAA work together. They suggest assaulting SIRCAA, since the Warhead Wish Granter moved there, and it's what controlled Monolithians back in the day. As we finish our discussion, Ward actually attacks the base. I hate Ward quite a lot, so I kill their soldiers off. Moving towards SIRCAA, I come across an anomaly that seems to be glued to the transmission tower, and a few highwaymen on a bridge. But the only road tax I pay is buckshot to the face. Then I come across yet another factory, and a wild zombie starts shooting at me. Then there are a few more on the inside. So of course it had to be a controller. And SIRCAA quickly analyzes him. Weirdly enough, he seems to be wearing a collar. Is he someone's pet? I continue my journey and locate a stash that is reachable in a few easy jumps. Additionally, it seems there is an artifact below. So I need to get it. In the end, I have finally reached SIRCAA. Behind the perimeter wall, the zone seems different. Everything is new, or at least well maintained. Dr. Dalin is excited when he sees the scanner, and I'm invited in. They seem to have the three main armor types on display, alongside with every artifact obtainable in the zone. Moreover, the windows seem to be emission-proof. So, in the end, I decide to take a nap. See you in next episode. Bye!